There are moments when life goes quiet, not just around you, but inside you. The world still spins, voices still echo, but something within feels suspended, like you're floating between chapters. You look around and everything continues without you. The texts slow down, the laughter fades, the warmth you once reached for feels just out of touch. And then a question starts to form in the silence. Why do I feel so alone? Libra, this loneliness you carry right now, this strange stillness pressing against your heart, it's not a punishment. It's not abandonment. It's something far more sacred. This is the pause between your past and your becoming, a divine breath, a spiritual realignment. In today's message, we will not escape the silence. We will understand it. We will walk into it together and uncover the truth it's been holding just for you. If your spirit has been aching for something deeper, if you felt unseen, unheard, or forgotten, stay with me, because this is not the end of your story. It's the space where your soul begins to remember itself. The silence isn't empty, it's full of instruction. When life begins to quiet down and the noise that once filled your days disappears, you start to notice a stillness you didn't ask for. People who used to check in go silent. Conversations that once made you feel alive begin to fade. And in that strange, hollow space, a whisper rises inside. What did I do wrong? But Libra, this silence is not here to punish you, it's here to prepare you. Because sometimes the universe doesn't speak through sound. It speaks through absence, through emptiness. Not because you've been forgotten, but because you are being positioned for something deeper. You are not being cut off. You are being cleared. Cleared of the noise, cleared of the draining patterns, cleared of the expectations that made you carry more than your share. This silence is space. Space to hear your own truth again. You've spent so much of your energy pouring into others, trying to keep peace, trying to be the balance. But in doing so, your voice, your needs, your center, all of that began to fade behind everyone else's noise. Now the universe is giving you room. Room to feel the emotions you pushed down to keep others comfortable. Room to face the thoughts you've ignored because you were too busy fixing others. Room to simply be without needing to explain why. This sacred pause you're in, it's not empty time, it's full of quiet instruction, full of spiritual messages that couldn't reach you when your world was full of movement and noise. Right now, your heart is being gently restructured, not for more isolation, but for clearer connection. Not with people who drain you, but with those who can truly see you. This is why things had to quiet down, not to leave you stranded, but to guide you back to yourself. Stillness is not weakness, it is strength in its softest form. It is healing disguised as pause. And most of all, it is sacred. When no one understands you, it's because you're being rewritten. Lately, something has shifted. The people you once shared everything with don't feel as close. You try to reach out, but the words don't land the same. You smile through conversations, but inside, it feels empty. And it hurts. Not because you don't care, but because you do. Maybe more than ever. But Libra, this isn't your fault, and it's not theirs either. You are being rewritten. There's a quiet transformation happening within you, a shift in your soul, slow, powerful, and invisible to the outside world. You're not who you used to be, and that's exactly the point. The version of you that others once connected with, the version that over-explained, overgave, and held back your truth just to keep peace, that version is gently fading. Now, something deeper is taking its place, something real, something aligned with who you're meant to become. But not everyone is meant to walk with you into this next season. Some people only recognize you by your past patterns. They don't know how to hold space for this quieter, stronger, more self-aware version of you. That's why the laughter feels distant. That's why the energy doesn't match. Because your soul is evolving, and not everyone is evolving with you. Libra, don't grieve what couldn't stay. Don't chase what stopped resonating. This sacred pause isn't about being left behind, it's about being lifted into alignment. It's about clearing out what no longer fits your truth. Not in anger, but in clarity. Not all disconnections are rejections. Some are releases. Soft releases from what your spirit has outgrown. This is resonance. Your soul is tuning itself like an instrument, searching for harmony, and anything that clashes with that sound naturally falls away. Let it, because who you're becoming deserves to be seen fully, not halfway. The fire within you is not gone, it's just resting. Lately, you've been wondering, why don't I feel like myself anymore? Where did my passion go? Why do I feel tired, even when I've done nothing? Libra, listen closely. Your fire is not gone. It hasn't disappeared. It's simply resting. You've spent so long trying to keep up with everything, trying to stay strong, trying to be everything for everyone. You've been carrying emotional weight in silence, and now your soul is asking for stillness. Not because you failed, but because you need to breathe. There's a difference between being lost and being in transition. You are not lost. You are not broken. You are in between endings and beginnings. Right now, your inner flame is quiet, not because it's dying, but because it's gathering power, preparing for something new. Not the kind of fire that burns fast and loud, but the kind that lasts, rooted in wisdom, not restlessness. This loneliness you feel, it's not emptiness, it's the sacred stillness that comes before transformation. Think of it like this. The phoenix doesn't rise while it's burning. It rises after the ashes have cooled. The seed doesn't bloom in sunlight, it grows first in darkness. And winter doesn't mean life has ended, it simply means renewal is quietly working beneath the surface. So if you feel slow, tired, unmotivated, don't rush it. Your soul is not behind, it's healing. This season is not for performance, it's for recovery, for deep rest, for spiritual repair. Don't curse this quiet time, don't shame yourself for not doing more. This is your rebuilding, your sacred pause. And your fire, when it's ready, will rise stronger than it's ever burned before. But for now, let it rest. You are not behind, you are on divine time. One of the heaviest thoughts during the still season is the feeling that you've been left behind. You look around and see others building, creating, falling in love, chasing dreams, and it makes you wonder, why am I not there yet? You scroll through pictures, you hear success stories, and deep inside, a quiet voice starts to whisper, am I too late? Did I miss my moment? Why is it taking so long for me? Libra, take a breath. You haven't missed anything. You are not late. You are not behind. You are right on time, not the world's time, but divine time. You see, the world teaches us to chase, to rush, to compare. It tells us that success is measured by speed, that love has a deadline, that healing must happen quickly. But the soul, it does not follow calendars. It doesn't care about timelines or milestones. It follows alignment. And alignment can't be rushed. Your spirit knows when it's time. The right people, the right opportunities, the right lessons, they will come, not when you push, but when you're prepared to receive them. This pause you're in, it's not a delay. It's a sacred setup. The universe is not holding you back. It's holding you in place, gently, until everything you need is ready, and until you are ready to receive it without fear, without doubt, and without shrinking yourself to fit what isn't yours. Libra, you are a soul of balance. And sometimes, to find balance, you have to slow down enough to feel where things have tipped too far. Don't measure your journey with someone else's ruler. What's meant for you is being woven in silence and secret in the unseen. So let the world move fast. Let others chase. You trust your stillness, because your timing isn't random. It's holy. It may not be loud, it may not be obvious, but it's real and it's right. You are exactly where you're meant to be. You've been overgiving. And this pause is protection. Let's be honest, Libra. You give more than most people even notice. You give your time, your energy, your love, even when no one asks how you're doing. You listen, you comfort, you show up, even when you're tired, even when your own heart is quietly breaking. You carry the emotions of others like they're your own. You try to fix what isn't yours to fix. You soften yourself so others can feel safe, even if it means you become invisible in the process. And when someone asks if you're okay, you smile, you nod, you say, I'm fine. But deep down, you're not. Your spirit is exhausted. Not because you don't love, but because you've forgotten that you also deserve to receive. This sacred pause you're in, it's not an accident, it's not punishment. It's the universe placing gentle hands on your shoulders and saying, enough. Not enough love, because love is your nature. But enough self-sacrifice, enough carrying everything without rest, enough pretending you're okay when you're pouring from an empty cup. This stillness, it's protection. The space you're being given right now is sacred. It's not about pushing people away. It's about pulling yourself back into balance, back into care, back into emotional safety. You've spent so long being the safe place for others. Now it's time to become the safe place for yourself. Let your spirit breathe. Let the silence pour peace into the places where your love was drained and your joy was dimmed. You are not weak for needing rest. You are not selfish for asking for space. You are human. You are sacred. And you are worthy of care, not just as a giver, but as a receiver. This pause is a gift. It's a reminder. Your soul matters just as much as anyone else's. So stop running, stop explaining, and let yourself receive the quiet healing you've long ignored. Because this is not the end. It's the beginning of a new kind of love, the kind that includes you. This sacred pause is a portal to your higher self. What if I told you that in this very place where you feel unseen, where everything feels distant, where your voice seems quieter, where your energy feels dim, you are actually being remembered, not by people, but by the universe, by the deeper part of you that's been waiting to return. This stillness you're experiencing is not a dead end. It's not a sign that things are over. It's the beginning of something sacred. It's the doorway to your next version, a version of you that doesn't need to chase, a version of you that doesn't bend just to be accepted, a version of you that is grounded, guided, and no longer afraid of standing alone. Libra, in this sacred pause, you are slowly meeting yourself again. Not the version of you that always had to explain. Not the one who kept the peace at the cost of your own truth. Not the one who smiled through pain to make others comfortable. But the real you, the soul-aligned you. The version who speaks from clarity, who knows your worth, who no longer feels guilty for choosing peace over pleasing. This pause is not a punishment. It's a portal. It's the space between who you were and who you're becoming. Right now in the quiet, you're growing wings. They may not be visible yet, but they're forming. From every moment you chose rest over rushing, reflection over reaction, alignment over approval. And when the time is right, when your spirit has gathered enough strength and truth and calm, you will rise. Not as the same Libra others once knew, but as the healed, awakened, radiant version of you that no longer hides to keep the peace. This quiet space, it is your chrysalis, and soon you will fly. You may still be sitting in silence, still wondering why things feel so heavy. You may not have the answers you were hoping for. You might still carry the ache of being unseen, unheard, untouched by the comfort you once knew. But Libra, please listen carefully. This loneliness you're feeling, it is not a punishment. It is not emptiness. It is not proof that something is wrong with you. This is a divine presence in disguise. It is the universe creating space around you, not to isolate you, but to wrap you in something invisible yet powerful. You are not forgotten. You are not left behind. You are being gently held in a space where your soul can breathe, where your heart can speak, where your inner voice can finally rise above the noise. You are being placed exactly where healing can happen, where truth can be heard, not by others, but by you. Because for so long, you've listened to everyone else's needs, and now in this sacred quiet, it's time to finally listen to your own. So hold on, be patient, be soft with yourself. Even when the silence feels sharp, even when the stillness feels too wide, know this moment you're in, this strange, quiet space, it is not forever, but the wisdom it brings that will stay with you for life. The pain will pass, but the clarity will remain. And from that clarity, something beautiful will rise. If this message found you, it's because your soul was ready to hear it. This is not the ending, Libra. This is the sacred pause, the divine breath before your next beginning. If today you felt seen, if your heart was held by these words, then I invite you to subscribe to stay connected, because more messages like this are being guided to reach you. And until then, remember this, the quiet you're in, it's not empty, it's holy. And you, dear Libra, are never truly alone.